Also, now that I have room, I'm probably going to fortify the garden area that we kind of left go. I'm going to get in there, and as you probably noticed, in the neglected 2 weeks kind of time period, the plants that survived the best were the ones that had the wood pellets and the alfalfa pellets added as a mulch. So there's also a few other things that were in those areas, like the bottom part of the dugout before we put the potting soil in there was actually some cardboard, just all kinds of things that help retain moisture. And so I did not do that to the first bed. You know, I'm kind of like learning as I go. So what I'm going to do then is go back to my first bed, dig out all the old soil, put in some cardboard, probably dig it a little deeper, fortify it some more, and then I'm thinking about all those pots that have peppers in them. I'm probably going to plant the peppers in those areas, because if you watched any of the previous videos or video, you see the one with Cheryl and her garden, and it showed that, you know, that the peppers that she had that are producing like crazy are actually, I think, 2 or 2.5 year old pepper plants. So I'm going to get them into an area where they would have like a permanent fixture in the garden. You know what I think that is? I think that could be echinacea, you know, like coneflower. Hopefully. We'll see if that's what it is. I need to get that tecoma in the ground, and all these grapevines need to go in the ground too. Lots of stuff to do. Ah, more. Look at all the Hopi red. And this one, these here are actually where they belong. All the rest of them are outside their area, but I'm just gonna, you know, I'll leave those go. Hopefully the rains will continue to come, and of course, give me some more Hopi red amaranth. This stuff is fabulous. My birds, my chickens love it. My goats, or not goats, my ducks love it. I love it. So yeah, very happy with that. Okay, this is something I'm thinking I might try for dinner tonight, or dessert. Not quite sure how you make it, but I'm going to try to make grilled sunflower. This pineapple is doing great. This pineapple, I think, I'll have to move that, of course, into the greenhouse for the winter, but that one seems to be doing pretty good. It's been in that pot now for probably around 3.5 months. Okay, check it out. Check it out. This is so cool. I just stepped all over them, but here in my walkway, there is not just mesquite beans popping up, but if you see the red ones here, there's quite a few. I'd say probably about 10 of them. These are the Hopi red amaranth, just seeding themselves. I absolutely love volunteers. I almost forgot, this is garlic chives, but I forgot that I had shoved some of the bunching onion, the Iatoi onion, in here. So I have some more of the onions, which are great. These things you can pretty much just neglect and they come back. Oh yeah, definitely a lot of amaranth in here that I can pick and use. And I did notice quite a few patches of purslane, which will be ready pretty soon, that are wild. I think I'm gonna harvest some of this amaranth. And, you know, like I said, it's just wild pigweed, but probably take some of the larger leaves down to the chickens, and then I can use some of this along with my other purple amaranth or Hopi red amaranth, and maybe a frittata. Really not finding any fruits out here, nothing sweet to eat except for what I'm going to be able to forage, and that's going to be my prickly pear fruit. So might have to talk to Dan and see if he can't, we'll go hiking and then gather some prickly pear fruit. Let me see what else I've got. Oh, my pear tree is so confused. There's my pear tree blooming a little bit for some odd reason. Not last year, but the year before, I did get pears off of this, which was quite nice. And it's not very big. It's only as tall as me. So hopefully we'll get pears again. many things in our garden are still like in a state of growth and really can't take anything from them. Kind of like this really cool prickly pear. This is a different variety. I think it's from India. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to look up the variety of it. But when these pads are about the size of a lady's hand, they're really great to harvest and eat. And so this is going to be another one of my staples on my self-sustainable diet. I'm going to take that yellow squash. It's always fun digging. See what you got coming. Nobody else, huh? Ugh. Some pretty okra flowers. I am gonna take this one right here. See if I can do it without a scissors because I didn't bring one along. I'm not getting any. The beans are blooming, but I am not getting anything off of them. Little rinky-dinky little thing. Maybe she'll make it. And yellow squash. Well, looks like I'm gonna have another breakfast with the okra. The only reason I have the okra for breakfast is because Dan doesn't eat okra. And I think I'll leave that one more day. Some pretty marigolds. Those are looking really pretty. All right, Monica King here with King's Titan Homestead. And for breakfast, I ate the rest of the okra that I had picked the other day. And a couple of them were a little tough. They're a little old. They should have been picked a lot sooner than that. But so I sliced up the okra, the other half of that hot pepper, and added it to some zucchini, a little bit of leftover yellow rice. That was what was left in the refrigerator. It's the end. Oh no, I have one more serving of yellow rice, and then that's the end of the rice. And then I just added some eggs to it, and that was my breakfast, and it was pretty good. And I just finished my lunch, which was another zucchini, fresh zucchini, sliced with some leftover ham and cheese in it. So I'm still eating pretty good for my diet. And then on the side, I had some just sliced yellow squash, sliced really thin, kind of pretended like they were potato chips. So because all the chips, those are for Dan. I'm not touching those, and I do have to buy more of those. But for the most part, this is my diet, not Dan's. So that's how far I have gotten on that so far. And I'm hanging in there pretty good because, hey, the refrigerator and the freezer still have to be cleaned out. So we got thunder in the distance, which I'm hoping hits us here again today. But right now I'm checking the garden to see what I could harvest for continuing this diet. Okay, we're going to grill this tonight. You want to smell that? This is a sunflower head. So the next step is to remove, I've never done this before, so we'll see how it tastes. The next step is to remove all the flower pieces from the seeds. Okay, so my funky sunflower looks a little weird. But so I watched a heirloom seed company, what is that, Baker's Creek video on how to grill sunflower heads. And what they did is they coated theirs with the oil from sun-dried tomatoes, and also and then they cooked it, well, they grilled it, and then covered it on the grill for like 5 minutes, and then they rubbed it with sun-dried tomatoes themselves, and then topped it with some fresh chopped basil. And though that sounds really delicious to me, I know that Dan's gonna probably be eating this with me. So because of that, what we're going to do is I'm gonna do an olive oil and garlic salt. Maybe you want to smell that one more time? Does that smell good? What about you, Onyx? You want to smell that? Kitty, kitty? Yeah, pretty interesting. Okay. Okay, so as far as the sunflower went, it was kind of interesting because the seeds came off of the, came out really easy, and that was fabulous. But my seeds didn't really have any meat in them. They were just dull. I was chewing on them, and there was nothing. So I was kind of hoping that would be something that I could, it kind of gives it the roasted grilled flavor, and then I added the garlic salt to it and oil and cooked it for the 5 minutes or whatever, and it had a great flavor. But it was just like eating the holes and spitting them out. There was nothing to them, which makes me think maybe people harvest them greener. I don't know. So that's something I'll try again, but that one did not work out. So I gave them to the chickens.